everyone, Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here, and I am thrilled to be back. I have so much to tell you guys. You know, I got used to seeing you every day and talking with you every day. Now that I'm not, I'm like saving up everything, you know, for whichever video, and I just have so much to tell you. So, let's see. It is June 11th, 8:09 a.m., 74 degrees and sunny here. Yeah, my mind is going because we have 2 days before we leave for the mainland. A lot to get done, but I'm determined to. I really wanted to get this video at least recorded before I leave. Maybe some editing done. I doubt if I'll have time to get it edited and uploaded before I have to head out for the daily errands. Getting my hair cut. It's still wet. Just got out of the shower, just finished getting ready, so whatever. Have to get to the post office. You know, why does this always happen? I'm getting some fabric in from Hicks, Jude Designs, and I don't think she always does this, but for some reason a signature is required. And actually the last 2 orders I needed to do a signature, and they came yesterday when I was out. Why do they do that? So I have to go to the post office and pick that up. I was hoping to have it, well, my original thought for doing this video is that I'd record what I could in the morning and then come back in the afternoon and finish it up, and you could see my new hairdo. Actually, it's not a new hairdo, I'm just getting this trimmed. And that I'd have the fabric to show. Actually, I'm hoping I can get it all done this morning. So yeah, there's that. Haircut. Yeah, just brain all over the place. I do have notes though. So I want to go through those. The plan is I have all this stuff to share with you. I have a finish to share. I have a new start to share. Of course you do, Jan. And then I'm going to go through my Maynia projects. So I don't know how long this will be. Like I said, I hope to get it all done this morning before I head out. Again, mostly because it's cooler up here in the loft. I don't know when it'll get edited and put up, but hopefully I can get the recording done in one fell swoop. So let's start with the finish. I did show this on, oh no, I didn't post it anywhere. I wanted to save it for you guys. Give Love, Get Love. Donna Bayless's free pattern celebrating this hashtag. Now I have been linking, oh, I did want to say, if it looks like I'm looking past you, it's because I am. I have my setup has changed it a little bit in that I have the camera facing me on my phone, which means I can't see the screen to see what I'm showing you. I actually have a mirror behind you that I'm looking at to make sure that I'm pointing this in the right direction, basically. So Give Love, Get Love. This is done on a 28 count linen, with 2 strands of Mrs. Sadis's gorgeous Jan's Pride silk floss. The stuffing is wonky. This is polyfill, and boy, is it hard to get that like even. And I left the opening here in the center, so it's like more squishy in the center. You know, it could use some more filling here in the center. It's kind of not even, but that's okay. I had this yarn I showed you the last time. It's a recycled silk sari yarn, kind of all knotted together, so all different colors of silk saris went into this, and then I decided to finish it off with this little tassel here in the center. I love it. I think it's awesome. So, Give Love, Get Love. I link this, I put a link for this in the description of all of my videos, and I'll continue to do that for the, who knows how long in the future, probably quite a while. And you'll probably be seeing this in every video, because remember, we want to give love. And when we give love, we get love. Hold that thought till the end though, right? That sounds like an ending. I am surrounded by stuff, so I'm kind of figuring out where to put things. Okay, so news. First and foremost, I got a disturbing email from Loretta Henderson. Loretta is contacting, I guess, a lot of the Flosstube creators that she interacts with, and she is pretty active in the community. When she went to, I guess, watch videos sometime in the past few days, she discovered that her subscriber list was gone. She didn't go into the details, but by the sounds of it, it sounds like YouTube just kind of wiped out her account. And so she could see the videos, but she couldn't comment, she couldn't give a thumbs up, there was none of that kind of thing. I guess when she went to create an account or recreate it, there was something that said she had to be willing to get YouTube ads emailed to her in order to create the account. Now, I'm sorry, that's just wrong. Every other website out there always gives you an option whether you want to accept their, get their emails or not. And of course, most of us, well, it depends. Depends on whether it's a cross-stitch site or not. We say no thank you. Apparently YouTube isn't giving that option. I don't know what she's going to do. I know she sent a blistering email to YouTube. I don't know whether she's heard back, but I would like to know, of course, if you can't comment, that's rather rude, but I do have my email down in the description box. Facebook is an option to message me through my Jan Hicks Creates page, or Instagram. If you're on Instagram, Jan Hicks Creates on Instagram. I would like to know if anybody else has experienced this, and if there's any type of workaround that you've discovered or any type of explanation. It's just, I mean, YouTube gets an awful lot of money from the ads that they place on our videos. I don't think they need to be sending out more ads. So yeah, I'd like to know if anybody else has experienced this. Another YouTube info point, I recently discovered that you have an option for your captions. You know, it auto generates captions now, and I've talked about this before. If you have, my understanding is, if you're working on a device, a tablet, a phone, maybe even your TV, you can auto generate. You can turn the captions on so you have the captioning. And it will be in whatever the source language is. So for me, it's English. For like Cross Stitch with Luda, she does both the Russian and the English one. Her Russian one, the captions will be in Russian, you know, and the English one, they're in English. However, I did discover that if you are working on a desktop, if you're watching it on a desktop, you do have the option to translate those captions into another language. And my understanding is the whole list of languages are available to you. So if you are a Russian speaker, for instance, and are having some problems, you could go to a desktop and pick Russian for the captions to be translated into Russian. It makes sense. Mike and I were talking about, you know, Google owns YouTube. It makes sense that since the Google Translate tool is pretty powerful, that they should be able to apply it to the videos, and apparently they do. But right now it's only available on a desktop. So that's kind of a bummer, but at least it is somewhat available. Let's see. The fabric question that I was asking about. Several of you did give me links to check out for more information on warp and weft and how they work in a fabric. I have not had a chance to check on those yet. I probably won't have a chance until we are settled in Flagstaff, quite frankly. But for the most part, the majority of you did say it shouldn't make a difference. As long as it's an even weave, it should not make a difference. There is apparently more stretch one way than the other, and of course there is more stretch on the bias, but you know, we're not stitching on the bias. But it doesn't make a difference if you're, you know, if it's woven this way and you turn it the other way, it's not going to affect the stitching. Let's see. As of now, I haven't looked back through my photos. I don't think I'm putting any photos at the front of this one. We really didn't do anything this weekend except clean. Woohoo! So I don't think I took any photos worth showing. But I won't know until later. So maybe you've watched this and you're like, Jan, there's photos at the front. Duh. Maybe I'll have to edit this out. Let's see. One thing we did do, actually, I don't think I can grab photos that are any good, but one thing we did do is we wandered through a couple art galleries up in Haleiwa. We went for lunch up there after dumping some trash at the recycling center. And there's several art galleries in that area of Haleiwa, and one of them has a room specifically for Vietnamese silk embroidery. And let me tell you, I have never seen anything as stunning as this. I'm just going to go through, I'm on their website, it's the HaleiwaArtGallery.com, and I will link this below. I'm just going to go through several of the pictures of what they have in the gallery. This is the biggest one, and please forgive the glare. This is 56 by 99. It took up most of one wall. Just stunning. And of course, these pictures don't do it justice at all. I mean, they're just, and you know, the light catching them, the light that refracts different ways depending on which direction you're looking at it. Look at that on the black. It is a silk that is the ground that they're working on. Look at that. The landscapes were just amazing. Look at this one. You can see the rays of the sun coming down. Now, the interesting thing about these is, like especially this first one. Let me get back to that first huge one. Again, the light refracts differently. So this is stitched in such a way, he like dimmed the lights and everything got darker, but because the silk refracts the light so brilliantly, that center area where all the light is just glowed. And then he turned the lights off. And again, because of the way it's stitched and because of the way the silk acts, I want to see if I can hold this. The light was coming down here. Everything kind of faded to, like it lost its color. The stuff that was more shaded and even down here. So it looked like it was the moon, like it was moonlight coming down. It was amazing. Now, this would be way beyond our price. We're going to be going home with one of these before we leave the island. We want one of the landscapes. And the landscapes, I don't know the exact dimensions, but they were around this size. 8 by 10, something like that. They were $1,250. He does have a layaway plan, he was proud to tell us. He didn't want us to go without putting some money down. We did not at that point because we're just not mentally prepared for that. But Mike and I will be talking about that when we get back, and I'd like to actually start a layaway on one of these because they are just, we need, like I said, I told Mike I need one of those in my life. And even he, you know, he doesn't have the same appreciation for needlework that I do, of course, but he does appreciate the time. And this is apparently a husband and wife team, Vietnamese, who created an embroidery workshop, not even a workshop, it's a business, it's a company. All of these pieces are signed, and it's signed with the first name of the individual artist and then the company logo type of thing. But there's 2,000 embroideresses, artisans, and they work from an artist draws a grayscale sketch, and that is what they work from to create. So all the colors and all of the stitches and everything are from their own imagination. And I assume it takes years to get to the skill level where you have these pieces that I was showing you. Someday I'd like to travel to Vietnam and see those women in action. Just amazing. All right, what else? Muslin bags. I haven't heard back from Anne. I did text her this morning to find out if the muslin bags had come in on Friday. Don't forget, Dying to Stitch is carrying those bags that we can store our fabric in. So be sure and give them a call if you are interested in getting any of those. I will be getting, like I said, they should be getting shipped to Arizona. So if they're not there, excuse me, I have the burpees this morning. If they're not there by the time we leave for Flagstaff on Saturday or Sunday, I don't know which day we're leaving. We're heading up there, I think Sunday. Hopefully they will be at my in-laws' house by the time we get back. So I will be showing those to you. StitchCon. All right, I'll be showing you in a second. They're buried here someplace, what the projects are that I'm taking with me. I wanted to remind you guys, if you're interested in me interviewing you while at StitchCon, please let me know. I do have a list of like 5, 6, 7 of you who've responded already. I haven't worked out in my head yet how we're going to do that, just because I haven't had a chance to think about it yet. I expect it'll just be pretty informal, like you're going to recognize me before I'm going to know you, right? So just come up to me and say, hey Jan, I am such and such. Are we ready? Can we talk? You know, just something as informal as that. I did get in touch with Deb Yoakum of Punch Needle and Primitive Punch Needle and Primitive Stitch? What's that last word? Oh my God, just gone. Anyways, I'm going to be interviewing Deb at StitchCon as well, and I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. I also wanted to mention, I think it was Polly Kalick had asked me a while ago if we could sit down and go over Knit Companion while there. So if there's anybody else who would like to have a in-person look at Knit Companion and a little bit of a class on it, I'm happy to do that. I have not talked about it, or I've not, and I probably should, gotten in touch with Barb or Steph or anybody about making it a more formal thing. I'll probably just message Steph on Instagram and just let her know that I've put that out there. So anyways, let me know if you're interested in that. All right, I think that is all of the notes. I'm gonna start with the new start because it's easy and it's right here. So, you knew I would, right? You know what I'm talking about. I couldn't resist. Is that not gorgeous? And you know, part of me said, Jan, just do the bookmark. It's smaller, it'll give you that taste, but I needed more than a taste. So I started right here, basically counting down and over from the, I'm giving it a 2-inch border, 2.5 inch actually. So I counted down and over from the 2 inches to start that little petal right there. Oh, and Anne just responded. Hold on, let's in real time see what Anne's answer is. Oh, awesome. Okay, so they did get the bags in. She's going to be sending mine out tomorrow, so probably won't make it to, well, might make it to Phoenix before we get there, before we leave. And they are having them silk screened with their name and logo on them. So how cool is that? So if you are interested in having muslin bags, I think it was like 16 by 20, 12 by 20. You'll have to ask when you call Dying to Stitch. And again, I'm putting Dying to Stitch's contact information in the description box below. But anyway, back to, so this is Mandala 8 from Cross Stitch Collectibles. It's 30 pages, but some of the 30 pages, like the first page just had like 6 stitches right up in here in it. So, and that's how some of the pages are. So here's my little start. I got 1 square done. I am parking on this one. So that's like 1 square right there. So I got the first, well, there's still 2 like single stitches that I couldn't park anywhere that I have to do in there. So that's the first square there, that's the second square there, and then I'm gonna work diagonal down here. But isn't that gorgeous? Just look at that. The shading, of course, the colors are just beautiful. I know. This will not be going with me to StitchCon. I wanted to get a start on it, but it's not going with me. And it is getting added to my year of BAPS projects though. So, StitchCon, not StitchCon, Stitch Mania. Now we are there. Let's see, 8:30, okay. This might be kind of fiddly. I have a pile, I have my 2, I had mentioned that I'm using the pillow shams. Let me grab this one. The pillow shams as my project roll. So I have the 2 from our bed in a bag kit, basically, right? I have one that I'm using for my whips that are kind of going into storage, if you will. And then this one is my my Big Ass Projects sham. It's such a sham. I am going to be checking out at Goodwill to get more of these because these are pretty bulky. I do have them safety pin closed, but they are really bulky, and I want to separate these out a little bit more. But what I'm going to show you first are the whips that are going into Hibernation, and then I'll open up and sort through the other one. Okay, so first is the last one I worked on. Welcome friends, this is a Dimensions kit. I was working on this leaf here. I have to admit, it did not get very much attention because that was Saturday, and that was also the day that we were officially starting the Quaker Seasons of Friendship Stitch Along. And so I had said I had hoped to get the leaf done, and I got a chunk more of the shading done in here, but I really only worked with the 1 color. This is a 32 count linen. The kit came with that kind of brownish Ada, and I didn't like it at all. So this is going to be a gorgeous piece. I just don't know when I'm going to get back to it. Now here's the conundrum. What do I do with everything? Where do I put everything when I'm done with it? I haven't figured that out yet. Because I'm running out of space and I don't want to put it on the floor because cats. All right, next, the piece of much discussion, Things Unseen, Mystery Sampler by Lizzie Kate. It is awfully pretty, isn't it? So I am going to take this part and make it into some kind of small. I've had so many good suggestions. Wall hanging, add some quilt fabric to each side and make it a wall hanging. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, but it's not gonna just get pitched, that part of it. spring door. So the real title of this is actually Sweet Home Spring. You can find this at mybobbin.com. And that's all we have with that. Again, 1/1. I think this was a 25 count. Yeah, this is a 25 count. Linda, Murano, something like that. I don't think it's a cotton. Maybe it is. I don't know. No, it doesn't wrinkle. So I think it's a something that has some rayon in it. But anyways, that little one. These two I'm not doing. Next is Pretty Little Hawaii. And I was going to take this one with me to StitchCon, but decided to take Pretty Little Hawaii instead because that one's further along. So there's my little whales from Pretty Little Hawaii. Did I say Pretty Little Hawaii? I'm taking Pretty Little India with me to StitchCon because that one's further along, and I will show you that in a moment. Is the next one, our gorgeous elephant. I had been thinking I would take him to StitchCon with me. Maybe I will. Oh my God. Anyways, that's where that is. This is a 28 count Jobelin colorway dense fog. I was also thinking I was going to take this one, Louise and Henry, because it's small and I'd like to get it done and there's big blocks of color. It'd be nice if I could just get that wool, that sheep outlined. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll put them both aside and decide here in a bit. Home for Christmas, I know I'm not taking this one. I don't want to work on Christmas, even though this one isn't overtly Christmas. And actually, it has pumpkins. It's fall. We'll call it fall. This one, I think I got the windows in over here. Not a whole lot on that one. Or maybe I started the white on the roof. Can hardly even see that. Okay. Didn't do that one. Next is a brick house sampler. This house is going to take forever and a day. And this one, I think I worked on the white, or no, I worked on the grass coming across. That's right, because I misplaced it at the beginning. Oy vey. Go there. Yeah. All right, there's that. Next, Brenda Gervais. We have a little bit of a Brenda Gervais thing going on here. Blessed Be. This one I was working on the roof of the house. And I have the floss to prove it. There's that. Keep the floss with it. And again, Brenda Gervais. Summer Schoolhouse Lessons. And this one, I'm working on this side of the house. All the houses, people, all the houses. This is so pretty. This will not be going to StitchCon with me, though. Such a pretty design, and the colors. And over one. Love it, love it, love it. Next is Heartstring Samplery Hibernation Day. This is the one that I'm changing the words on to be more of a memory of when my boys were small piece. So I got that top border done and I got the line of words done. Again, so pretty. I love the linen color I chose rather than choosing more of a neutral tea-dyed type of piece. Love it, love it, love it. Guiding Star, a kit from Oven. This is another one of the pieces that I got from mybobbin.com that I replaced the Ada. This is the hemp fabric from Jackson Fiber Arts. So far, really no problem stitching on it. I don't think there's going to be any problem at all. It's for the Stitch Mania, I got all this white done. So I'm out to the edge of the lighthouse there. Next is Sheep Stories. This is another digital pattern. I'm not going to pull out the picture. You've seen this. Part 1 is almost done. I got, let's see, the houses filled in with the doors and windows and everything. I got the little tree done up here. So got quite a bit of that done. Small house. This is the design from Just Cross Stitch, April 2003, if I remember correctly, that I am changing the colors, at least on the one house. Hold on, another piece of floss stuck on this. So making it more my colors. When this is done, this will probably get hung with the other ones with blue houses, the Quilter's Cottage, and then the Quilting Star in that same area. This is a 40 count, I think vintage navy bean was the fabric for that. Sally Spencer. This is another one that didn't hold my attention. I think I can blame this one on Quaker Seasons of Friendship as well. Or maybe Shades of Gold. One or the other called my name more than this one did. I think I even got the D done. Maybe the C and the D. And then last but not least, in this pile, we have Midsummer Garden. XG Designs. This is the one that she has a kit for that she was able to, she dyed more of the fabric and the floss, and she should still have some kits available on her Etsy shop. Look how pretty that is. Look at those colors. So this is her fabric, her floss, her design, just all beautifully coming together. This will be a beautiful piece when it gets done. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to get the other patterns set up, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. For you, it was just, a second. For me, it was like 20 minutes. So what I'm going to show you now is what is basically in my current rotation. And I think I have like 22. So I know it's kind of insane. I like to work on these at this point like 2 or 3 days at a time. That's about when I get to the point where I'm just tired of it and I want to move on. But doing that means it takes me, what, 2 or 3 months to get through all of these. So, there's some give and take there. I don't know. I should really take some of these out, and I may, but I just love them all. And I want to touch them all. But anyways, I did take out one. Aren't you proud of me? And I forgot to show it in the last batch. So this is the Tree of Dreams kit that I got from Amazon. It is a full coverage. I love it. It's a gorgeous piece, and I'm working down here. I decided to set this aside because of all the other full coverage huge pieces that I'm doing. This is a 28 count Lugana, so I'm down here. in the bottom corner. Working on bunches of blues, so it's kind of goes fast because it's, you know, just solid bits of color before we get up into the confetti. But I am going to put this aside for now. Now this is kind of a instance of what we've been talking about in action. Can you see these red dots here on the plastic? So this was sitting in, I have it in one of those mesh envelopes that you get from Amazon. This was sitting up against, it's a colored, the pattern, I didn't pull the pattern out, of course. The chart is a colored chart, and it's kind of that shiny copy, if you know what I mean. And this was up against it, and so some of the dots from the pattern did transfer onto the plastic. So that's what we were talking about. But anyway, so this is going into hibernation. I need to actually take the needle out of it. I haven't done that yet. Okay. The rest of these will be in one way or another in my rotation. So Aloha, you remember this piece? This was in the March 2019, I believe, issue of Cross Stitch Crazy. This is actually the one that I take to work on in our the stitching meetups that we have here. So I won't be pulling that out again until that get together in July. Next we have the first fractal bookmark that I got that, once again, I couldn't resist starting. So that is that one. This is also on a 28 count, even weave over 1. Get my face out of there so it will focus on the stitching and not my face. The colors are just gorgeous. That is going to be so pretty. Next we have Sea Glass, and you know, I think it's just something about working over 1. I can't resist, because this is another one, Sea Glass by Carolyn Manning Designs. Blob of floss here. I believe this is a 30 count, but I'm not sure, over 1. And there is something, I mean, it goes fairly fast. Again, little blocks of color, but blocks of colors like that work down through the pattern, right? So you're just kind of going and going and going until you run out, and then you start another color and you go and go and go. Actually, I think that's wrong. It goes this way. So yeah, it goes fairly quickly. And I just love the play of all the different greens, and of course, over 1. Now this one is not over 1, but every time I look at it, I'm stunned by the colors. Vitreous Art number 2. This is the one I got from So-and-So, another Oven design kit. This is the one I got from So-and-So UK. They do have this one and the 2 other designs in this series. And you know I keep saying it, but it really is going quickly. I know. It is because there are chunks of color in it. Once I get up into, like, down here, I'll slow down if there's more colors in here, and then of course coming up here is going to kind of be a pain with all the little bits and pieces of color. Oh gosh, I love this one. Just so pretty. So pretty. All right, this next one is the Paradise Floral one, Cooler Design Studios. So Hawaii, I couldn't resist starting this. There's another constant theme, right? And I'm stitching this on the big piece of this pretty linen that I got from my friend CJ. I believe this is a 28 count. And so that's what I have so far. And this is actually one that might get put away. I kind of hate to, but realistically speaking, I'm not very good with realism. This is one that isn't getting put away. Luz Gonzalez, 1851. This is the one that's on the 46 count that I thought it was a 40 count, and I kept exclaiming on how small it was. So during Stitch Mania, I got the leaves done and worked more on that rose. Just so pretty. Yeah, that's a must-do, right? And then there's this must-do. Modern folk embroidery. I'm not going to pull out the picture for this. Everybody's seen this 15 million times. Slowly but surely, I'll get this done. So I got the word winter done during Stitch Mania. Garbage truck or some other kind of delivery truck. Jacobean tree. Again, this is a kit out there using Presencia Finca. I got just the pattern, so DMC conversion and my own fabric. Working forever on grass with a few flowers scattered in. So during Stitch Mania, I got this all done over here. So many just amazing pieces. Leeds house. This one will not get put away. So pretty. I am going to change this though down here to something else. I don't particularly care for that verse, but oops, there's two together. Hold on. I did get the alphabet done. This is the one using the sulky threads. I got the alphabet done, those two medallions and that little flower. I highly recommend you try some sulky threads if you haven't yet. I think you'll really like them. And more people are designing stuff with sulky threads, for better or worse. It's nice to work with. Okay, next one is the Peacock's Garden. I just call him Mr. Peacock. This is the Linen and Threads Mystery sampler from this year. They are up to June, obviously. I am on February. I worked on the border. He's a handsome guy. Next, oh, that purple floss goes with the handsome guy. Green on Green, Rosewood Manor. Delivery truck. This is the one on Burnt Bronze. Yeah, Burnt Bronze by Under the Sea Fabric that is no longer available. Where's my stitching? There it is. Using the Silks for You silk floss. And I do believe I have the colors listed on my website for this. So pretty. Again, the perfect marriage of floss and fabric, if I do say so myself. I'm so glad I picked this up. I picked this fabric up at Keepsakes. I think I said this last October when we were there, just because it's just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Okay, this is one that I've added to the rotation, and I'm not really sure. This is probably going to be an hour a day one until I get it done. The Do Re Mi sampler by Silver Creek Samplers. I have a chunk of floss there too. So I am up to me. Doing it in the rainbow conversion. And I do have this on my website as well, the colors used. So yeah, this will be, I'm kind of considering this a small that I will work on an hour a day. I think I still have to get this, I know, not I think, I know. I still have to get the Lila Studios summer one done. Next we have, maybe I should take that to StitchCon. Next we have the Four Seasons piece by Soda Stitch. That's that really big one. And I am just over here on these very pale trees. Is that right? No, other side. The very pale trees right here, starting to work up into this tower here. This is 36 count fabric. I think it's, I don't know, light blue maybe, I forget what the color name is, from XG Design. This is a special die and cut that she did for me. So starting to work up into that tower. Aren't the colors in that tree so pretty? Love it, love it, love it. All right, next is Grace. Love Grace. So I am currently, let's see, where am I? Can't tell. Down here, oh, that's right. I said next time I get this out, I have to start working more on the 1/1 letters so that I can get those done and not have like a whole bunch of 1/1 letters waiting for me at the end. Whoops. Again, XG Design fabric. This is color is Ash Rose. That's a better depiction of the color than that. That's blowing it out a bit. So pretty. Have I mentioned how pretty this is? I don't know where my needle is on this, so hopefully it's not on the floor. So yeah, slowly but surely with that one too. 40 count. That's the one I was thinking of when I was working on Lose, and I said, boy, Grace doesn't seem this small. Next up we have the 16th Century Garden from Liz Turner Deal. This is an old one. As far as I know, these are out of print. She no longer designs. You would have to look on like eBay if you wanted to find these. And I have those top two Knot Gardens done. So yeah, this is a fun stitch. And again, it goes fairly quickly. Each of the little sections feels like a little finish. This next one does not go quickly, but it's still fun. Colorful Deer. This was another kit I got off of Amazon. And I got this back when I first started back to cross stitch in 2017, and I just kept the Ada in it, thinking, yeah, I'll just ease back into it with Ada. And that's fine. It's very easy to stitch on. I was working down in this area during Stitch Mania. I have seen other people, well, one comes to my mind, I don't remember names, who finished this, another one who's working, like she started in the upper left, and so she's working on all of these flowers. Oh, it's so pretty. I can't wait to get up there. But anyways, he was not in my rotation before I started Stitch Mania. And when I was working on him, I thought, you know something, this is so pretty. I want to get it done. So he came back out to play. Aloha Hawaii, the Jeanette Douglas one. Again, if I can put some solid time on it, this one is not going to take long to finish. All these little motifs do not take long. So, I mean, I got those 2 flowers pretty much done during StitchCon, or during Stitch Mania. I mean, they're little. Now there is some 1/1. Some of these, like the little manta ray, I think the whale's 1/1, the Nini's 1/1. So, but this is I think this is a 30 count, like blue tile or something like that. So not hard to deal with. And that one. Oh, I didn't pull out the pattern for this one, but you just saw it. Taj Mahal. This one will not get done quickly, but that's okay. I am just happy to be working on it again. Slowly but surely with this one too. It's not going to languish ever again. Okay, so I'll be right back. Last but not least, what is going with me to StitchCon and what I'm having a hard time putting down. All right, you just saw this not too long ago too. Pretty little India. I decided, since I was just working on it and kind of getting into the flow, and because it is further along than Pretty Little Hawaii, it would be good to try to get this finished first. So you remember I did that sweet little elephant during Stitch Mania. I know, who knows how much stitching I'll actually get done at StitchCon, but these really are the 2 that, well, this one and the one I'm going to show you, that I want to make progress on. The other one is Mushrooms Botanica. This is the one I'm doing for my son. So I would like to get this done in time for his visit out here in October, which will be based, if it does work out in October, with nothing set in stand, nothing is set at all yet. But I'd like to get this done for a Christmas present for him, and that's when we'd probably be celebrating Christmas together. So I have a good chunk of that middle mushroom done, and the other semi-large mushroom. A lot of the rest of it is going to be a lot of confetti. But this, look how fun that is. Just look at those colors on that fabric. Love it. So those are my 2 definite StitchCon pieces. Like I said, I may take probably not. I may take Louise and Henry though. It'd be good to get that done. Probably not. I'm backing up. I want to concentrate on those 2. But what is going with me, so I have like 2 weeks before StitchCon where I will be in Arizona. Starting in Phoenix, up to Flagstaff for a week, back down to Phoenix to help out my in-laws at their house with stuff for a week before I fly to Cincinnati. So the projects I'm taking to work on there, since it'll be quieter. Shades of gold. I couldn't leave this one behind. So I have most of that top corner done. No words. I mean, it speaks for itself, right? Back here is definitely a more true representation of the color. I mean, I literally cannot stop looking at this. I saw on Instagram this morning, shoot, I don't remember her full name. Koslick? She just started Paradigm Lost in Darling, which is, this is the Mrs. Seda Silk Floss Darling, on a darker linen. It's not a gold, but it is a darker linen. Paradigm Lost by Long Dog Samplers. Again, it's the perfect for people that like blues and greens. And funnily enough, Raquel, Mrs. Seda, says she doesn't particularly care for blues and greens, but she hit this out of the ballpark. I mean, it's just stunning. And then we have Quaker Seasons of Friendship. Even if you aren't working on this, I highly recommend that you follow the hashtag on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, follow the hashtag Quaker SOFSAL. That is the hashtag we're using, just to see that. So far, a lot of it's just the gorgeous combinations that people are doing, but people are starting to stitch too. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Mine. So I worked on this more over the weekend. Weathered Shingle 40 count from R&R Reproductions. Copper Silk Floss from Mrs. Sedas. This is, oh, whoops, that went the wrong way. It's going to be such an amazing piece. I think you can see, you know, the variegation in this floss is very subtle. But I love looking at it in the light and seeing just how the dark and the lights kind of ripple. I just love it. So yeah, if you are interested in still joining, please do. Like I said, we are going to be working on this piece for a long time. It's funny. So I started up here, right, in winter. Anne of R&R Reproduction started down here in summer. Shoot, I forget. Kathy Kraus started up here in this corner in spring. It's like we're all starting in different corners. I love it. So you're seeing the different motifs kind of come alive. So yeah, I invite you to join us. You can only get this pattern from Dying to Stitch. Again, their contact information will be down in the description box. And last but not least, this beauty is also going with me to StitchCon. I'm not taking any of the floss. I'm not going to be working on it, but I had a request to bring it, to show it. You know, I know there's a brag table. I could put it on the brag table, but like I could put these other ones on the brag table, but I'm really hesitant to do that. Tell me why it's okay to put my most treasured possessions on the brag table. I know it's a bunch of other needle workers who will respect it, but I won't leave it there overnight. So, my dear friends, that is it. Hope you enjoyed that. I've got to get ready and get out the door. so I won't get this edited right away. But whenever you do see it, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a wonderful week. I don't know when I'll be back. We fly Thursday night. We're taking a red eye across, so we get in Friday morning, the 14th. And then we're just gonna have to kind of hit the road running to get ready to get the RV ready to head up to Flagstaff. So I'd like to say, I would like to do a Stitch With Me video on Friday. It's probably not very realistic. Just gonna have to see how it goes. You will see another video from me at some point. You will definitely see videos from Flagstaff, if not attached to my stitching videos, then maybe as standalones. I don't know, but I'll be doing it. We're gonna get out and about a lot in Flagstaff, and also relax a lot. Until then, give love, get love, and know that I love you, and I'm glad you're here. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.